Good morning, Sage here live from Kalkine studio in Sydney, and you're watching The Early Trades, a show where we share a glimpse of the Australian share market's opening trading scenario, along with the global and domestic drivers triggering the market's momentum. So let's get started. And the S&P ASX 200 is up 0.8% in the early trade, with the materials sector being up 1.3% and the tech sector up 1.2%. Mining giant Rio Tinto has given back 0.6% after cutting its financial year 2022 iron ore production guidance, while another mining giant, BHP, is up 2.3%. In the financial sector, investment company Pendal is down 7.8% after a disappointing September quarter, with platinum being down 5% on news of a big block trade sale. Another investment firm, Macquarie, is up 2.5% after broker Morgan Stanley hiked its price target 37% and said the bank deserved a green premium. Retailer Harvey Norman will trade ex-dividend for its fully franked 15 cents per share final dividend on Friday. Auto retailer Eagers Automotive and Hub24 are scheduled to pay their latest dividends later on Friday. Travel stocks are enjoying a good day after the New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet said it'll open its international borders to Australians and overseas citizens from November 1st on certain conditions. And travel agency Flight Centre is up 3.1% to $22.43. Airline Qantas is up 2.6% to $5.72, and the other travel agencies Webjet is up 2.4% and Hello World is also up 4.4%. And New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet said if the state is the only one open to the rest of the world, it will be a boom time. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones was up 1.4% and the S&P 500 ended 1.6% higher, while the Nasdaq finished up as well 1.65%. The US stock market has been volatile in recent weeks amid concerns of inflation, rising energy costs and economic slowdown. Money managers interviewed by Wall Street's Journal have downplayed Thursday's rally, stressing that markets could expect a bumpier road ahead. On Thursday, the Labor Department said the US jobless claims fell to 293,000 in the week ended 9th October from 329,000 in the previous week. Investment company Pendal's September quarter deal to acquire Thompson, Segal and Walmsley has helped it hike funds under management from $106.7 billion to $139.2 billion. And Pendal's chief executive Nick Good said that for shareholders this is proving to be a value-accretive acquisition. There was significant volatility in client sentiment leading to rebalancing of portfolios and profit-taking, giving rise to outflows in a range of channels and strategies. Pendal's shares are up 17.7% over the past year. Australian carrier Qantas says it has entered into binding agreements to sell surplus land in South Sydney's Mascot to Logos Property Group for $802 million Australian dollars. And Qantas will lease back some of the land while arrangements are made to relocate some of the functions that the land is currently used for. Qantas Chief Executive Alan Joyce said they'll use these funds to help pay off debt built up during the pandemic. And the strength of this sale and its impact on the balance sheet means they can get back to investing in core parts of the business sooner. And Alan said the extended lockdowns and border closures of the past few months have been extremely tough, but this transaction adds to the growing momentum around its recovery. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission is suing insurance company IAG for misleading and deceptive conduct after offering around 600,000 customers discounts that were based on inflated premiums. The Australian Securities and Investments Commission alleges IAG subsidiary IAL used an algorithm to hike the gross insurance premiums of products to ensure the discounts would not fall below a certain level. And documents filed in the New South Wales Federal Court reveal the practice known as cupping led to around 60 million Australian dollars in discounts not being passed on. Iron ore miner Rio Tinto has blamed tough operating conditions for a difficult September quarter and cut financial year 2022's iron ore production guidance to between 320 to 325 million tonnes versus prior guidance between 325 to 340 million tonnes. And total Pilbara iron ore shipments in the September quarter was up 9% on the prior quarter. Copper production finished down 3% on the prior corresponding quarter. And Rio's chief executive Jacques Stossholm said it's been another difficult quarter, and despite improvements, they recognise the opportunity to raise performance. And lastly, mining giant BHP's boss Mike Henry has backed its Resolution copper partner Rio Tinto to reach an accord with Indigenous peoples in Arizona, USA, saying his company's move to hold separate talks with the local tribes was not a challenge to Rio's project leadership. Mr Henry told media that Rio Tinto is front and centre as manager of the project, and BHP support their efforts. Henry also said that BHP believes it's appropriate to have some direct interaction, but this shouldn't be read as BHP leading the charge. And thank you for joining us, but that's all for now in the early morning trade. Stay tuned to Kalkine TV as we have many more shows lined up for you for sharing live updates across the economy, markets and sectors. Sage signing off.